He is a life member of Computer Society of India and a senior member of IEEE. He is a member of IEEE EPIC committee, which leads the education projects in the community. He is also on the research advisory board of TIM-SCDR. He has authored and published more than 30 plus national and international papers in various conferences and the journals, co-authored a book and 3 patents. In 2017, his M-Krishi Fisheries initiative was recognized as a top 20 mission-driven social impact innovations in India by Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, and was appreciated by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji in his Man Ki Baat program. Over 22 weeks during September 2019 to January 2020, he conducted a Swachhta Seva relay awareness walk on reduce single-use plastic across 22 wards of Navi Mumbai, Thane, and other places of Mumbai, covering 250 kilometers and reaching out to 60,000 people. I heartily welcome you, sir. Sir will discuss on a very interesting topic, that is research in digital age. What are the problems and the opportunities in this era? Now I request sir to please take over the session and enlightening us. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Hoda. Thank you, Dr. Vishal, for that introduction. As Dr. Hoda said, I am a member of TCS, working with TCS for last 23 plus years. And for last a decade or plus, I have been looking at initiatives related to innovation for masses. So I'll just share some of my experiences. It's not something a lecture. It's just like I'm talking from my heart, my thoughts, and my experiences to you. And I'll be happy to hear your feedback. During the session, there are a couple guidelines. Maybe if you have any thought or question, you can put into the window. Your questions can go into the question and answer window. We will take the question and towards the end of the session, which Vishal will read out and I will answer that. During the session itself, we will have some quizzes. I will request all of you to actively participate in the quiz. It is important because each slide is going to have some takeaway, and it is sharing from experiences. So when we work in the field, every opportunity leads to some kind of a learning. In fact, today's session got delayed because of maybe some technology glitches. I have three instruments in front of me, and one instrument does not, mic doesn't work, another instrument stopped to recognize Cisco itself, and the third instrument does not have a mic. So funny situation, but very interesting in learning situation. So I will like you to participate in the quizzes. It's a very simple multi-choice question quizzes, which you can maybe put your answer in the chat window. And when putting in the chat window, put it for everyone so that everybody can just see and match with their answer. Topic is research in digital age, problems and opportunities. Every word is a keyword. Research is a keyword. Digital is a keyword. Age itself is a keyword. Problem is a keyword. Opportunity is a keyword. The things which are not keyword is the Dinesh Singh, Tata Consultancy Services, research. Familiar faces. Tata is a familiar face. I am also working in this area. May become your familiar face and friend. So let's move on. Digital era. So digital era did not come just in a gist. It's like one day we woke up and we came across digital era. It had been happening in the past, and that's why I say that if you want to know the future, it's always good to know the past, because when COVID-19 happened, it wasn't happening for the first time. Of course, the disease is for the first time, but there has been some hints or the signatures in the past. Maybe the disease which happened in the 1900, which is getting talked about. Maybe the disease which happened in the 1800, which is getting talked about. But there are certain diseases which happen in the 1700. Looks like maybe for last 300 or 400 years, in the beginning of the century, something happens. Here also, we had a computer. So when we say computer, we had a CPU, we had a machine display, we had a keyboard, mouse, and so on. Then that computer came in your hand. So the mobile phone which you are having in your hand, just see the CPU power of that. maybe quad core, maybe RAM speed, RAM going up to 8 GB RAM. Maybe आपका computer may not have even that RAM, much RAM. Flash drives is going up to like 128 GB, 256 GB, and so on. So crux is that a computer which used to be part of your office, your lab, your home, maybe, has become part of your endpoint. That is your hand. Okay, always on kind of. But then that was also not powerful till a time these applications came. That is the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, WhatsApp, and so many other apps related to government scheme apps, maybe the institute app, work app, many things. When the apps came, people forgot about the mobile phone. Why? Because mobile phone is for a granted. No, the apps are important. The morning when you get up in the morning, you actually go and click on the WhatsApp to see who has posted what. Maybe the same with the Facebook. And some people may like to forward. It means the world started forgetting about the old desktop computer, endpoint computing, and got into the application. But every day when you start your applications, whatever application, you read, you post, or you forward, you are actually generating data. And just imagine there is one application which is sitting quietly on your phone. And the only job of the application is to just keep a record. Morning, what time did you click on the application? At what time? Beginning of the day, correct? So the beginning of day got recorded. Then which application and how much time did you spend on that? And it is very easy. Why? Because if you go to your battery power in the mobile phone, it talks about which application is consuming how much of the power. If you go to the storage, you will come to or data usage, you will get a view of which application is consuming how much of the network bandwidth. Okay. And every time you click an application which goes out of your phone over the internet to do something, that also getting recorded. You have got a body which says breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You don't have to tell your respiratory system to breathe in, breathe out. It happens, correct? The same way, this data breathe in, data breathe out is happening all the time. And that is the data. It's a lot of data. It's a data about you. It's data about what you do. And it's data about how you do and when you do. Okay. So maybe if I have this data of 7 days, 24 hours, probably I can get a bit about you, who you are, where your maximum time goes, and so on. And this data is becoming important. So the way we are in the application is computer endpoint application is tomorrow, or maybe the tomorrow, which may just come in maybe a year or so, is a data age. And that data is already age has already started with the institutes like Google, Facebook, Amazon. So Amazon, you go and search something and Amazon comes after 2 days and say, hey, you were searching for this. You are not interested in this. Do you want to buy something similar about this? What does it mean? Amazon has taken your data, put into the data lake, put into all this analysis of machine learning, artificial intelligence out of that, and then came out with something called, hello, I know you. So that is where digital era is not about the mobile phone, digital technology and application. Digital era is all about going to the atom and the molecule level of that application. The way our body and everything in universe is made of the atoms, molecules, and so on. Everything in the virtual world is made of the data. Correct? Datum. So basically, we are creating the data and each and everything is getting personalized. But then whatever get personalized, uska ek negative side bhi hota hai. Good, bad, evil, angel. And that is where knowing about you a lot. So this is what, as a researcher, is a research topic. Lot of scopes are there, correct? Because I can apply this data to know about you as your maybe health problem, or to know about the family problem, to know about your talent area, correct? LinkedIn may be able to give you a better job there, or maybe it can tell you which training you should undergo. So then put all these together is something what we call is a digital era, where we are transienting. We are not still completed a journey. We have just entered and lot to come in. Welcome to the digital era. And this is how, if you go with the analysis of the industrial or 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 era, we say that we are in the 4.0, industry 4.0. Our ex-CEO and the current Tata Group chairman, N. Chandra, coined this very interesting word, which is five forces. Being in Indian and grown into different kind of a culture, talk about body is made up of Panchatattva. Panchatattva means five elements. We look at the larger spectrum like sky, earth, water, air, fire. These are the five elements of which everything is made up of. Ratio differs. Similarly, the digital era, the digital virtual world or virtual universe, or digital twin of me, virtual twin of me is made of these digital five forces, which are nothing but the mobility and the pervasive computer, which is about social media, which is about big data and analytics, of course, cloud computing, and then using all these and putting together is something called artificial intelligence and robotics. So artificial intelligence and robotics is the highest level, which uses all of these two. And why these are all very, very important stuff? Because earlier when you had to create an application, first you used to think about, boss, where are going to host it? What kind of infrastructure will require? Now you do that exercise, but you don't worry of procurement. You go and you start paying. You put a credit card or maybe billing, and the way you get a telephone bill, you start getting your maybe Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, and all. It becomes easy to create the thing. Earlier, the creation was controlled by a few. Now the creation is slowly coming to the end user. So that is the cloud computing. Mobility, mobile application is not mere about a mobile app, but more than that. And then the goal out of all this, generate data, and then analyze the data to get insight, knowledge out of that. So this digital five forces, which is mobility as we talked about. So companies know a lot about their customer in real time. Okay. I was hearing to a talk by, there is a US company called Lowe. It is a $75 billion company. And Lowe CEO was talking about that, how they went for a digital transformation within 3 months. They said, before COVID, whenever somebody talked about the digital transformation, they say, transformation is a big word and it will take a lot of time. Okay, so we will do it. We will go slow. But when the lockdown happened across the world, including US, they had no other option to go online. But it forced them, what the CEO told, that earlier in 1 year they launched some 20 apps, mobile apps, because there is a diverse group. This year, in a month, they have launched 100 apps. So this is why, because they want connection to remain. If the connection with the customer goes away, even the brick and mortar businesses will die. So mobility is about knowing the customer. Somebody on unmute can go on the mute, please. So mobility is about knowing the customer, knowing a lot about the customer and knowing it real time. Big data, as we talked about, makes sense of both structured and the unstructured data. That is very, very important. If you are an IT person, probably people who think tables, databases are structured data. But if you are a user, WhatsApp, you won't have a defined sequence, correct? Pehle aap text bhejenge, then you will say an image, then you say audio or video and all those things. You send anything, anytime. So it may be in any format, no structure around that. Social media is about insight into individual preferences. Like Twitter, people go and then rant all their views there. Nobody's forcing them. They are getting biased and then putting. Somebody's putting their rant or the feedback about the product. So it means each and every organization, be it a company, be it an academy, or be an individual, or be a politician, they have to keep their ears open to the social media, Twitter, Facebook, and so on. Cloud, it puts formidable computing resources. As I talked about, pehle infrastructure used to be somebody who has a capital, money. Then only you can go and create a company or create some software. Now it is coming in a less cost in terms of your hand. As per your demand and requirement, you go and buy it. And the last one is the most interesting and the biggest fuel for the future, present, the future both. The way late 80s and maybe 90s and so on fuel the maybe the e-commerce or internet economy, the future is going to be all about insights, intelligence, and the blockchain. So it is about automating each and everything. Even the what Dr. Huda talked about, that we had 3 instruments, but maybe there could have been some network intelligence which would have told that, okay, you connect and use, this is the best instrument. It could have saved time. And save time means what? 10 minutes of one person into 500 people is a 5,000 minutes. Lot of time. Correct? Put 1 rupee for 1 minutes and it's like a lot of money there. So it's all about automating whatever we are doing manually. Phone is data. Site is a data. Uses your preferences. And this is where whatever we do for social media, e-commerce, e-payment, entertainment, Netflix, collaboration, learning, and so on. So funny thing is that you look on the right side of the blue boxes, correct? I do this, I do this. This is my preference. कल को marriage में वो कुंडली मिलाने की जगह पे वो phone का data मिलाएंगे. They may send all the data to Google Baba and say that Baba, can you make the match make the kundali, and then tell that does it match the interest areas, will we align or we will be diverse. Why I put the first box as the black box? Because if you don't manage your data, somebody else will be managing it and maybe exploiting also. Okay, so time for a quick quiz. Whatever we looked at, digital era and the digital 5 forces. So let's get a digital story out of that. So I will request all of you to put your answer into the chat window. So first question is, something helps know about customer and their preferences. So can you recall, these are all coming from digital 5 forces, a hint. So can you recall which digital force helps to know about customer and their preferences? Can you type in the chat window? Yeah, very good. I see people typing there. Read the line very carefully. The sentence says, Dash helps to know about customer and their preferences. So if suppose Google wants to know, or Amazon or Flipkart want to know about their customer and preferences, which force they will use it, which is with you? Yes, it is a mobility. I guess so. So we will see the answer on the next slide, because mobile phone has all these preferences, settings, and all those things. Okay, second question. What help makes sense of structured and unstructured data? So when you are answering for multiple things, put the bullet 2 dot whatever answer. So what is help make sense of structured and unstructured data? Okay, excellent. People have got it. You know, wow, excellent. Third, what provides insight about individual preferences? Okay, good, very good. Fourth, what is formidable computing at low cost? I think it is very straightforward, fourth one, because the word itself has come into the question. Yes, good. I will request all of you to put the answers there. Okay. This will also ensure that you are with me on the slide and the session. And the next one is what fosters automation. Okay. So let's go to the answer. I think most of you are correct. So you can match the answer what you type. Okay. So mobility, big data, social media, cloud computing, and AI. Okay. And when you are interacting with your student, I think let them understand about these digital five forces, and then let them choose which one force out of the five forces they are deeply interested about. We will see in the coming slides, but this is very important. On the TCS side, so TCS, we have a research and innovation lab, and as I said, I am a member of TCS Research and Innovation Lab in Mumbai. Now we are differently based, now not no more we are location based research and innovation group, and I'm part of an initiative called Digital Farming, which we will also see the later slides. So I'm just like a plain member there. TCS research is about making business future ready. This sentence is not just a sentence, it's very important, because as an academic, my customers are maybe my students, my stakeholders, might be government, maybe AICT, and maybe other agencies, maybe parents. So we have to have a customer statement. It's a vision statement, goal statement. So here the goal of the research is to make business future ready. Nobody knew that COVID is going to occur. But there were certain businesses which started their digital transformation, digital footprint activity, and they are called visionaries. I was talking to like another CEO of another tractor company in US a couple of months back, last month, and then they started their digital activity last year, and they said that when COVID happened, maybe the initial couple of weeks was surprising because there was a chaos, but after 2 weeks they were business. Okay, so it is very important that make your business future ready. Why the word business? Because anything you do as a research, it has to be a clear output, and definitely we always have that. Also a clear outcome. It should have a social impact or it should have a business impact. And the digital research is all about making you future ready. That's why knowing the future problem, anticipating them, and working on the solution is where it's called exploration, which is a research. The next one is the tapping into collaborative learning. Always remember, Sachin Tendulkar is a great person. He's a person on which the billion population of the country relied when he used to play. Of course, there are other heroes also like that. But Etla Chalore and approach never works. You need a team. And number two, however great you are, whatever experiences you are, always have that, some kind of humility, humbleness, that you still may be defeated. You alone, you may not be able to do always 5 out of 5 every time. You need to tap into collaborative learning. And that's where academic and industry interface become very important, because academic teaches the theory and goes into deep of the theory and the formula and so on. Industry can pick up and apply on that. So always remember that. And TCS coined a word called co-innovation, coin, which is a very important thing. Bitcoin say be powerful, a coin hai. Okay. And the next one is nurturing the startups of tomorrow. I participated in a panel discussion couple of weeks back about future of engineering education. Crux is that the time has already changed. Whether we believe it or not, or accept or not, but COVID-19 has created a permanent impact. That digital is definitely will be taken seriously. Now there are companies who are going to hire the people, but not everybody will get placed. But everybody has got the intelligence, human intelligence, and they can always apply that. They have a passion. They can go and start anything. With what they love. We will come and see the later next slides. So nurturing the startups are very important. So TCS got is the TCS incubation. We're supporting the some of the startup, and rather than reinventing the wheel, go and collaborate and then offer the solution to the customer. That is where making the customers business future ready. So these are the like a summary of how the TCS research is focused on.
The insights what we got into that unlock the true value of your enterprise data. So the way your mobile phone has got a data, one simple mobile phone has got a data. Just imagine your telecom companies like Vodafone, Airtel, and so on, Geo maybe, they have got so much of customer data. They have got so much of billing data. Correct? That data can be put used for good purpose. The government has got lot of data, birth and the death record data, maybe the health related data. Similarly, company, government, or academic data like how many students maybe graduated and where they are placed now. So what actually helped them to grow to that level, or what did not help them to not grow? Maybe this kind of a data analyze can be actually open up a lot of opportunity. So data potential true value we need to unlock. It's not a log. And the next one is the digital farming with the price, where I am part of the digital farming initiative. It's all about applying digital to the farm. So when this initiative started almost 15 years back, somebody asked why TCS or Tata is getting into agriculture. Tata is in agriculture, but TCS is getting into agriculture. Don't you think it is a right? It's not a right choice. So when we started this, probably we were only top 10 companies in the world to do that. Now there are more than 450 registered startups working in agri-tech space. And I think that's why when they talk about the TCS is like a leading the future or leading the industry, it's no exaggeration, because you start something which was not anticipated of. So apply your experience and the knowledge. And the next one is very, very important. There are problems, but there are opportunity. When Prime Minister talked about there are billions of problems, but there are billion people with a billion mindset and billion opportunity. So there is abundance, and we should harness that abundance. And the blockchain is one technology which is getting applied to many things across the world. What you have grown up with, maybe internet, or have seen internet bringing to your table and your hand, maybe the blockchain will bring that to your hands in the future. So that's why internet era, maybe artificial intelligence era, and the blockchain era. Preparing for the future. Future can happen in your backyard, at your home, with the kids who are playing with the technology and the equipment, maybe with the students you are working with. When you are working with a student at a project, actually you've got a human resources working for you. Of course, they are interested in maybe completing their subjects, but maybe as a teacher, you can become their mentor, coach, not as a teacher, and then maybe shape their future in a direction where they should be going or they want to go. So this preparing for future helps us creating new patents. So TCS created a lot of patents, and the numbers which I'm showing is pretty old. But then the message here is that when you create a patent, it's not only patent creation to stop somebody from doing something, but actually defending whatever you want to do, or you are doing it. Unless you do the patent yourself of your work, somebody tomorrow, some company of the XYZ, maybe China, other countries, or whoever comes and say, thou can't do it. Why? Because I have patented it. That happened with the basmati, that happened with the knee. So creating a culture of intellectual property, affiliation towards that, interest towards that, and working on that is very important. And that's where government initiatives like maybe Digital India, Make in India, Startup India, Atmanirbhar, where all opportunities are available, knowing and tapping that is very, very important. Another quick question, need your attention here again. Making businesses what? So we talked about that, correct? When you talk about a sustainable idea, sustainable research, it has to be business link. So can you put your answers in the chat box again? Making businesses what? Just keep putting the answer. For the 2 dot also, if you have done for 1.0, tapping into what learning? Okay. What kind of a learning is very, very important? And the third one, harness what? Third one, harness what? Good. I'm happy that people are with me. Thank you for that. And what is the fourth one? Unlock the true value of. Fourth one, I am still seeing confusing replies. Some are right. Okay, here you go. Good, very good. So these are the answers. Making business future ready, tapping into collaborative learning, harness abundance, unlock the true value of enterprise data. Okay. Before I move here, I had actually one more slide, but unfortunately, I couldn't show that. It's on my another computer. I will just read it out and I will request you to maybe type into the chat. So I am going to read a question and you need to maybe type the answer into the chat window. The question is, industry COVID-19, that is corona disease, has impacted. So industry has been impacted by COVID-19. And the options I had given: healthcare, government, travel and hospitality, education, or other. So can you type your answer into the chat window? The industry, I'm talking about the industry which has been impacted by corona. So I'm giving some of the answers here. So keep writing whatever maybe you think. Maybe some of the answers options I had not written, but you think those were the right answer, you put those answers also there. Yes, but anything else beyond, besides this industry which I read about? Healthcare, travel, education, government, hospitality. Any other industry which is impacted? Education, yeah. Any other industry which I have not read? Yes, manufacturing, logistic. Very good, very good. Now, the next question was on the same line. Okay. So I will maybe come to that question maybe after this slide. I think that will make it. So the question was that which industry has been impacted? So look at some of the industries which are here, where the research happening. Okay. So for example, research happening in banking and financial services, research happening in consumer goods and distribution, communication, energy and resources, utilities, insurance, life sciences, drug, healthcare, manufacturing, public services, that is government services, retail, travel, hospitality, high tech, and so on. So now if you look at the question which I asked and the answer you have given in the chat box, and look at the industry what you see on the slide. And now what is the relation between these two? Because whenever I used to talk about earlier, research is industry focus, and people will say, research to research hai. Don't bring industry into that. It is a academic way. These people of industry getting into academic. Research to research hai. No, but it has to be structured and focused, correct? And this is where, if I picked up one word, COVID-19, you have realized that COVID-19 has impacted many industries. Similarly, problems are in many industries. So problems are in many industries, solution has to be found in many industries. So research has to be also that industry specific. That brings a lot of focus into the research. Unless you are doing an abstract level of research or research which is maybe horizontal. Okay. Now, what happens when you do a research into the industry? Then you create two things. Either you create a product or you create a new way of doing the thing, that is a process. Okay. The same way they talk about a drug. You create a new drug or you create a new cure practice. Correct? So products like which may lead to quality engineering, manufacturing, your business operation become faster, you are giving consulting, integration, engineering happen, technology based operation, and so on. And these are the things which gets involved into maybe creating those things. That is the technology like AI, big data, the digital 5 force. So TCS also is working across these three. That is where TCS is like a horizontal entity offering services to each and everything, like our blood supply system, it spread to entire body. And then it had led to the various kind of industry product, which is a artificial intelligence based service, ION, which is education, which is become now a kind of a de facto maybe exam and the career guidance kind of a platform. Banks, which is part of the many core banking services. Agile, which is a agile methodology, and so on. And then there are many platforms, including our digital farming platform. Okay. Now, if I'm going back to the question which you answered into the chat box. Now your industry is clear. Can you tell me now, whatever industry you had put, like say COVID impact on healthcare, can you tell me what is the problem of COVID-19 in industry and what may be the research area in that? So just think and maybe your thought into the chat box. So I repeat, पहले आपने क्या लिखा? You wrote the industry is impacted. Now we are going deeper. I want you to think about the problem and I want you to think about maybe research which needs to be done. Two things, COVID and your chosen industry. So can you write down? Yes, very good. So COVID-19 and healthcare, finding the preventing methodology, preventing approach, and coming about a product called vaccine. Okay. What else? Yes, ventilator. Change, go to the COVID-19 and maybe manufacturing, COVID-19 and education. Okay. COVID-19 and infrastructure, COVID-19 and telecom, COVID-19 and hospital. So think about COVID-19 industry cross section and then find out what problem and what solution. Research. Can I see more for other sector? Maybe stop for the healthcare. Very easy to do that. At least think. Can you target on what can be done for the COVID-19 and hospitality? Not hospital, maybe tourism kind of a thing, or travel related, or education. Correct. But suppose online learning is very straightforward answer. Correct. But can you make learning interesting for the kid up first to third standard online? Because that's one problem which you are facing. I am associated with an NGO working in the digital literacy program for the slum schools linked with the slums. And we are finding very difficult. Why? Because there are not enough phones in the household. There are not enough bandwidth. So what to do? Okay. How to make education simple for even those kind of families or the students? Can you, okay, now can you move to the maybe travel? How to make travel less, travel faster, travel safe? COVID-19 in that part? Okay. So now whatever you are typing, I mean, if you are not putting your thoughts into the chat, I'll request you to put, because that way your learning with the slides will become very, very aligned one. So what you are typing there, you picked up problem, you picked up the industry, and it is tinkering your mind to think about the research problems and those problems to be solved. And those leads to the innovation. Those leads to the new thinking, new paper, patents, and maybe startup. So when we did the same exercise with the embedded, we started looking at the sensors and device, robotics platform, network embedded infrastructure, signals and the system, machine vision and graphic, embedded security and privacy, which is very important, correct? Nowadays, people, this digital fraud has become so powerful that people are taking control of your device. So people are now thinking, the researchers are thinking how to embed that security into the hardware itself. So if you have a problem, your mind start thinking towards the solution. Okay, sensors and devices. The moment you think about your phone, can your phone start ringing and you don't have to search your phone? That's a sensing thing. Applying sensor to the COVID-19 situation, correct? I talked about agriculture. Think about sensors on your car color, correct? Your car color is just for maybe appeal purpose, but can it be nanoparticle sensors? And every sensor become kind of a maybe solar battery. It's charging the car, and when there is a cloud, it automatically is maybe turn on the lights or maybe turn on your headlamp and so on. So think about embedded is getting into part of solving the problem. Similarly, if you take the engineering and physical science, as I talked about, maybe healthcare, integrated platform for design and development of new drugs, faster drug delivery, so on. So if there are maybe evil who is creating new viruses, maybe angels use the technology to create new solution. Let the war begin, correct? But you be on the side of the angel to create a solution on humanity. Nanoparticle may be on the nanofluids. So jahan pe corona hai, you just deliver your drug into the mouth and barabar it will go. Jaise you must have seen in the movies, correct? The fighter plane, when they track on one target, same kind of a drug delivery can happen there. So this is where you have to tinker your mind to go, and so on. Data and decision science, and then how data can be converted into insights. And of course, life sciences. Data and decision science and life sciences. Are you on the same slide? Can somebody put in the chat? Can see it? So, okay, good. Thank you. Yeah. So now we have covered one aspect of research. We covered about what is the digital era, what are the digital forces, and what are the challenges and the problem in the digital. Okay, I'll request everybody to go on mute, please. We looked at that digital part, we looked at the problems, and then we looked at the intersection of the industry and the problem, which may lead to the research. So we looked at research, digital research mein kya problems and what are the opportunities which are there. I request everybody to go on mute, please. So this is where one part of the interaction is over, where we looked at digital and the research and the problem and opportunity. Now I'm entering into the second stage, where I'm going to talk about, based on my experiences as a student of the research and digital research, how to do that research. It's a how part of that. So most important thing, I'm going to talk about ABCD of research. So getting started is A for apple, but for me it's A for analysis, analyze. If you have done your PhD or you're doing your PhD, you know that the maximum part of the PhD goes into first stage. What topic? Problem statement. This takes a lot of time, correct? A lot of discussion between you and your guide, or you as a guide between you and your maybe student, understanding what to solve. But that is the most important thing. You can't solve a problem which is a problem of somebody else or which you are not passionate about it. What drives you? Do you have a clear problem statement? Why do you think it is important to solve that problem? And want to achieve? What is the end output you want? What outcomes do you expect? So this slide is very important if you are a PhD student, or if you are working with a PhD student, or if you're working with your student, or maybe your kids. You ask question to enable them think, and that's why I like this picture from Three Idiot movie, where there's a lot of discussion happening about Baba's dialogue about passion. So passion, you can't borrow it. Passion is to be there, and it need not be technology driven passion. Passion is anything. And that's why the last bullet which talks about in my deck here, outcome is very, very important. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do a PhD? Because you want feel good to be called a doctor? Okay, ठीक है. Or you think that you will fulfilling a criteria of the university UGC, or you are maybe fulfilling a criteria of your academy, or you really want to solve something, or you want maybe a good, better pay kind of a thing. So this is the first stage of the research, which is very important. And that's why when I was asking you a question, and I was trying to get answers of you in the chat window, I was trying to make you think on this A for analyze. Analyze the problem, analyze industry, analyze what you want to see as an output or outcome. So this is very, very important. Having clarity on what is the problem. Okay. So when you are working on the problems and opportunity problems into the digital research side, some of the problems and how they can be opportunity I have listed down on this slide. So if you or your student want to work on a cloud computing, there are many problems which are still to be solved. Can you define new elasticity? The elasticity algorithms which are working maybe can improve further. Okay, maybe bring more agility into that. So if you go deeper, probably you get that. Cyber security in the cloud computing, because the hackers are becoming more powerful, more intelligent, and now they are going AI-based attack. So can you bring more cyber security kind of approaches in cloud computing? Ransomware, malware, how to handle that, how to detect them, how to identify them, and how to disable them. So these are the problems of today's industry in cloud computing, but they have opportunity also. On the mobility side, how to create app faster, how to create apps which can work on any kind of OS. Okay. Make application so that you use APIs to deliver faster and better services. How your behavior, your decisions, your mobile phone itself is a behavior analytics. This itself is a big area of research. So maybe it's a sad example, but taking the example of like the actor's case, of the suicide, and unfortunately he was trying to reach out to people and couldn't connect. But could the phone could have alerted it? That's a research. It's a digital psychology, correct? Psychiatry coming to inbox. Of course, digital marketing aligned, not to spam my phone, my email, but be taught on what I need versus what I think I good to have. Take ethics, very powerful research area. Okay. Data science, of course, data lake design, low cost, powerful, elastic data lake, secure transaction in the data lake. You can mask the data, tracing the data in the sense, if somebody is sending me the some kind of information, and I can trace and say, I don't want you to track me. That kind of tracing. Artificial intelligence like AI for vision is already doing a lot of things. Of course, maybe few countries have started use for face detection during the COVID-19 situation, but it could be used for better purposes, correct? For maybe detection of the disease or the health issues within the body. AI for healthcare, fake news detection. अब तो ऐसा हो गया है कि WhatsApp में sometime used to be a fake news. Now even when the real news comes, mind says कि ये fake news तो नहीं है. So it has become more fake news than the less real news. These are problems, but if you are looking from a researcher's angle, they are looking at opportunity. As I said, billion problems, billion opportunities. Okay. So I think we already touched upon it. COVID-19, is it a problem or an opportunity? So some of the work which is happening across the world related to COVID-19, and that is where I ask you to put your thoughts into the chat window, that you think COVID-19 is a problem. Of course, when it happens to family, that's a different story. But till that time, you are free to think and solve it. And there's some human who have already started doing it, and they have started working on this as an opportunity. So like some people have started AR VR production visit. That's what I wanted when you said manufacturing has been impacted by COVID-19. I had some kind of this kind of an answer. How the factory control monitoring can happen using maybe XR, extended reality. Okay. Constant temperature monitoring. How you can take that away, because doctor doesn't have to move to the patient bed and do the monitoring. Can it become automated? IoT can go to that level. Advances to remote monitoring there. And the things which I've listed down there, these are happening. If you Google on them, you will get the links also on that. Okay. Improving containment efforts, social tracking, Arogya Setu. I think if you go into detail of that, of course, people talking about data privacy and so on. Crux is that I'm into that. There may be some challenges, but focus here is maybe the saving lives. And that is a very good, very thoughtful initiative. Look at from opportunity perspective. Enabling virtual pods for maybe the containing the people. Improving inventory automation checkout. 3D for manufacturing faster kits, maybe the equipment, maybe somebody talked about and so on. Okay. Vital intelligence screening. So these are the people who have not looked at them as a problem, but they looked at a solution. First thing, as a slide I talked about, for analyze your problem, define your problem. Okay. And that was very important, because once you have done that, then you can move to the next part of the next phase of research, and which is about B for banana. No, it's not B for banana, it's for buddy. Okay. So buddy means having a team. You can't solve the problem alone. Even for your PhD, you need a teacher, you need a guide, and you need maybe digital virtual guides across social networks, people who are working in the same area. So find that team, it is very important. Domain of the problem statement. You need to know which domain you are working, and that's where sector become very important. Credible institute and people in the domain. Formulate a win-win proposal. You don't think about, I will take the help and it's done. No, create a culture, win-win situation, give credits, outline clear expectation and mutual benefits. Mutual word is very important. Force the partnership, manage the partnership. And there's a picture on the right says that Captain America is the captain, but he can't fight the war without this team. Okay. So crux here is that build that ecosystem, which is very, very important. Okay. Next one is ABC. C for cow. No, C for chalo field. So people who do the research on maybe the labs and maybe on the computer, it is okay. It is a preliminary research, but take it to the field. Field deployment is very, very important. Drawing board to prototype. Don't end your research just with the paper and the patent. Make the field, test and understand, does it work or not. Going from air conditioned office to the field. If you fail, doesn't matter. That is a part of the process. Fail faster. That's what we are taught in design thinking. If you fail fast, you learn fast. Revise and iterate again. Seek feedback, learn faster. Okay, so feedback is very, very important. And the pictures are like a self that aeroplanes were not made into the lab. They were taken and they fell down. It broke, but they again worked on. And of course, the picture of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, which always inspire how the initial rockets were built. So crux is that fail fast. Don't wait for things to happen, or don't only keep it at a whiteboard or the paper based. Take it to the field. Next one is D for dream or D for document. For me, it is both. Have a dream. And that's where in the first slide I talked about outputs and the outcome. What do you want to achieve? Of course, you publish. Publish in form of patents, then papers, the copyright, maybe give it to somebody to create a product out of that, give the product, share, teach others, build businesses out of that. Because when you build a business, maybe you're part of the board, somebody else run the business, that's okay. But take your idea further, create entrepreneurs, create collaborators. So this is just showing like Raman Scopi, where like a patent which talk about, the create a patent out of that. Or a story about Harshvardhan Jhala, who thought of maybe playing with the electronics, and then at the age of 15, 16, he created his own company to solve the problem of the landmine using the drones. So went about dreaming about it. So dream and document, because if you don't document, you won't get your PhD, you won't get your paper patent, and you may not be able to inspire somebody else to go and take it forward. So collaborate and deliver it. Okay. So it is making sustainable research is something which is continuing. It has not come to an end. Are you're working, paper patent publish ho gaya. Are that's not the one part of the goal, not a full goal. Take it forward. So in my experience, research journey is about this ABCD. So there are problems, there are opportunities, but if you follow this kind of a structured approach of doing research, it's make the journey very important. Research is a journey. Okay, even when you're working in any capacity, you are teaching or you are a student, you can continue this journey. Define the problem. I'm just putting in a gist. Motivation. What is the motivation? What? Why? Impact? Patent, paper, PhD, whatever. Correct. Find a team, an ecosystem. Okay, and that is very important to be successful. Field experimentations are again very important. Don't leave it to the just at a thought process level or the paper design level. Publish and monetize. Okay, exploit it, scale it, make it bigger, monetize and impact. Okay, so research is not started and end. Research is a journey. Okay, what do I want from myself? Where do I want to go from here, where I am now? Why do I want to do that? And who will help me reach my destination? Opportunities are many, only problem is to take a decision. Thank you very much. So Vishal, I'm done with the part of the session and open for the question and answer.
If any participants have any questions, please write in the chat window.
Okay, so first question about the data science. So data science is a very broad field. Of course, you need to get started with the data science as a subject itself. There are a lot of material and the courses available online. To know data science, understanding about maybe statistical analysis will help. To know about machine learning algorithms will definitely be helpful. But that is knowing what to do with the data. But then if you learn Python, you may be able to implement and give a project. So if you follow these four stages, first stage will be define a problem or sector or area where you may have access to data, where you have the domain knowledge available. Go and then start the structured learning of data science. Do small projects. And once you have done all these small projects, then you are ready for maybe solving the bigger problem. Okay. I'm not sure which slide somebody. Is it this slide, Asta? Research journey, or you want the slide earlier to that? Question which is coming from Swapnil: how do you differentiate between data and decision science? If you go on the theoretical and abstract level, it may be very difficult to do that. I think here the important word is data-based, data-driven decision. So we call a 3D, data-driven decision. So we are saying that the decisions which are based on the data, which are based on the fact. So when you have a lot of data, then data start throwing you the patterns, correct? And then how you analyze the pattern to create into maybe information. Then you take that information in a context of maybe a domain, or in a context of maybe in a particular situation, and then that become your knowledge. Okay, so general data will not help you. So for example, when I look at the data of the people searching health, Ayurveda, Ayush, Coronil, Fabiflu, and all those things, maybe somebody can analyze data and say, oh, probability of this person having COVID-19 is high, or somebody in the family having high. But maybe this person is curious, maybe person is preparing for themselves, or maybe this person is got a student who has got an essay to be written on that. So data analytics leads to you a pattern, but pattern had to be married with the real context. That contextual knowledge is very important to reach to the next level, which is a decision. So this all put together is a data-based data and decision science. Okay, there's one question about medical image processing and AR/VR application. Okay, very good question and a very interesting problem area. Suppose you have got a doctor, you know a doctor, you are a doctor, when say health medical medical doctor, and the doctor gets about bringing the X-rays. Okay, what does the doctor do? Doctor look at the X-ray and then say, you may have a cough, you may have a TB like cough, or you may have maybe COVID-19 like a cough, or whatever. It means doctor is scanning the image in the mind, the scanner is doing detection, then doing a matchmaking, correct? And that matchmaking is going to a table where the mapping happens and it's showing identification. And then it's throwing the result out. So if you are taking a help of all these X-rays and then putting those images to the system and help of the doctor for the domain knowledge, this is where one example how medical scan imaging can lead to or maybe better and faster doctor assistant tool. To system because वो बेचारे को कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा, सिस्टम का एक्यूरेसी में भी 80-90%, but suppose the patient which you put to system is a 10%, the person may get a psychological problem, mental health, correct? So crux here, this is how medical imaging can be helped. Maybe computer vision for images, medical images can be applied to solve a problem. Okay, and AR and VR is coming up area where AR may be help to create scenario, situation, what if, and that what if may be able to help doctor to take a better decision. Augmentation of different layers on that. VR is definitely a good for managing the patient in the COVID-19. When there are good doctors and there are learning doctors, teachers and these things, how you transfer that knowledge to the virtual lab, there maybe VR can be applied. Why is not much progress in computer hardware research in India? Interesting question. There are research happening. Maybe it's not happening in the main four or the porte where we are known it about it. See the the gap between the computer and other equipment driven computing kind of a disappeared. Your mobile phone is a computing device. There are special purpose devices coming. So there are research happening, but maybe not many people are doing it. If there are a manufacturing industry which is set up here and which require that kind of a research, then probably it will become like a public face. So the areas where I know computer research happening is how to make hardware more secured from the maybe the cyber attacks and all. So security, not the antivirus security, but going into the hardware level also. So that kind of a research happening. Very good question, Swapnil. The foremost and important aspect in research in Marathi, when I went to my kindergarten, they taught me ga ma bha na ga, a ka kha ga ga ka. In English, they taught me A B C D A. So A for apple, A for analysis. Problem definition is the most important thing. My mentor taught me one thing, that whatever you work on, whatever maybe you want to do, it may be a meeting, maybe a education, maybe a session, maybe a problem, whatever. The one thing you should always ask, what is the objective? So for example, when I came for this session, what was my objective? My objective is that India is is a very powerful country with a lot of knowledge, and every individual is a promise. So if I have learned something, and my organization TCS and Tata Group actually always say that creation of knowledge, wealth, and taking to the society. So it's the extension of that knowledge to the society. It's a general experience which I'm sharing. So objective is to share, not to teach. And maybe through that, you can extend this to your student, your community, and it become a bigger activity there. So first and most important thing in the research is, what is the objective, the problem definition. In marketing, consumer mind is considered as black box, as one cannot find out what is going on minds of consumer. How AI can be applied, very important thing and very interesting area. If you're thinking in that direction, and if you continue to explore by choosing one sector, don't one sector. Maybe you can pick up e-commerce, and maybe you can pick up maybe electronics. So COVID-19, the moment Unlock 1.0 happened, and when I went to a shop to buy a computer, I saw many people came and asking microphone and so on. Why? Schools were starting online, and the parents wanted to equip with that. So it means you need to tweak your problem, the question you ask, with a sector, and then when you start bringing domain and the ground problem together, you will be able to open up this black box. The black box can be opened, but it cannot be opened with the key, a master key. There has to be a very specific key. So one part of the black box you open, because when you are at home, you are maybe a son, daughter, or maybe a parent, or maybe you are when you are at work, you are a different person. Where school a different person, correct? So there is not one single black box. There are multiple black boxes. So this can be opened by structured approach only. Is it possible to come quantum computer in industry? Definitely it will. Definitely it will. When the mobile phones were introduced in the market, I remember the incoming calls were charged at some 11-12 rupees per minute. And people said, why to buy the phone? PCOs were everywhere, correct? Today, I think mobile phone is the most important entity after the human, correct? Every individual want to have their own personal phone. So crux is that a quantum computing will also get popularized and used. Cloud computing came long back, but acceptance came very late. So there is certain which would come and get popular at particular time. Maybe another COVID-19 something happen which is drives maybe quantum computing use. So researcher has to be one step ahead of the ongoing industry or the problem. so that they can prepare and get the things ready. Khana tayar hai, food is ready, that kind of a stuff, so that customer doesn't have to wait for that. Next. So Piyush has two questions. I'll answer the question number 2. There is a program to train the faculty by the industry and incentivize such learning. I think this is already happening. I'll say we have a wing called Academic Industry Interaction Program, and I'm I have a hobby of going and sharing and learning into the academics, and I do that as part of my AIP wing. But of course, AIP wing has their own criteria to create that collaboration. So that can be used as a vehicle to enable that. And most of the industries have that, and your academic placement office and all those things keep trying also that. Academic curriculum can be designed in consonance with the industry requirement. I won't say that it's not happening. It is happening, but it is a lot of subjective also. So I was part of some of the syllabus defining committees and all. And the first question I'll ask is, इतना सारा चीज 3 months 6 months में cover करना is so difficult. There are a lot of things to be covered from the student side. So I'll say that AICT, UGC, and other academic bodies are good work. There are always syllabus in interaction with the industry. But we have to understand that earlier we would buy a TV, fridge, a refrigerator, or maybe anything, electronic equipment once, and maybe use it for maybe 10 years, 20 years. Now one mobile phone is work after 2-3 years looks old. Correct? So the rapid change which is industry is maybe what is giving a picture that okay, we are not ready. Of course, for example, education has got a new dimension after the COVID-19, and that may become part of the academic maybe a couple of years later as a syllabus or way of teaching, maybe after 1 year. So that gap will always be there. But one thing which is important is that academic industry interaction. So even if the syllabus is going to change later, but learning can always remain relevant in real time. So this is how this can be handled. Startups and COVID-19 IT, it will be difficult for me to comment anything on that. But few of the startups which I have been interacting and seeing and hearing them in last 3 months, I have been hearing about the startups working in agriculture side. And all of a sudden I have found them, they are doing better actually. And same thing I have heard about few of the health startups. Because the person who has started a startup, self-started, correct? Passion hai. The person be at home because he or she has invested his money, his life, his career into that. Na? So they have to make it running. So जैसे आपकी गाड़ी अगर कहीं पे अटक जाए, if you have got stuck with your vehicle at a road or a water, you are not going to leave it there. You will find a way to get out of that. That is what is happening with this startup, and they have transformed their way of working it, coming out maybe new product, new improved services and all those. Always remember, problem तब तक हमको घेरती है till the time we have accepted problem to occupy. Moment you decide to attack on the problem start distancing, become an opportunity. So CSR is a different thing. We have a TCS Foundation, which is TCS Foundation, which has started an initiative called Digital Impact Square. You can Google on that, DISQ. Digital Impact Square is an initiative where they are promoting student-based startups. So probably that could be helpful. As I said, training can happen through the academic industry interaction program. TCS has its own guidelines. So maybe you have to look at how your particular academic fits to that criteria. Otherwise, maybe a platform which Dr. Huda always provides time to time, and is doing a great job on that, definitely provides an opportunity to come and interact. Technology replacing human at the moment is a far-fetched. People used to say that when computers and internet will come, then people who are documenting or paper writing the register and those things will go away. Nahin. That's why history is very important. We need to understand that we need to re-skill ourselves. IT industry, I say that it's a very cruel industry. You know? Like my mentor says that 2 years equal to 22 years. So it's not a number of years, but the experiences you carry to solve the problem. And if you have re-skilled and re-imagined yourself to the new requirement, new problem, and new technology, you are always relevant. So there is not dearth of like impact of maybe waiter and all those things. Okay, because एक hotel में लो आप, when the waiter comes to your place, the waiter is maybe in a good hotel, very busy person, but it's not only coming and serving you, comes and monitor and observe you, are you at comfort or not, and if you are not happy with it, is very important. So it's all about the service industry, of course, but waiter also has to learn to coexist with the technology. In a team, you have a good person and you have a bad person. Can you remove the bad person? You don't have peers, correct? What you do? You adjust, you learn, you reskill yourself to coexist with the people. Same thing with the robots. We are research is going on how to coexist in the industry. Human and machines can coexist. I hope that answered your question, Vibha.
Any other query or a question or a point to discuss?
Well, one question which I missed is service sector affected by robots and what will be impact. In fact, we need more and more robots on that. Some people have already started putting Alexa as like a personal assistant in the home, correct? So so Alexa doesn't have a humanoid body, but it's a kind of a robo only. On your phone, Google Assistant, Siri, and all those things are coming in form of the robots only. So people are opting there because they feel that they are of living, and then that's why they are their family. So of course, you need to increase your demand to them, and robots has to get to that level to meet that demand. In the factories, robots have been there. In like a car industry, if you go to the like a Maruti factory, Tata car factory, and so on, you'll find the robots doing some of the small things with precision. Robots has been there. Only thing is that in the farm, we are and we feel about it. No. They are going to be there. We coexisted with the flora and fauna. We need to coexist with the machines also. Only thing, whether you will coexist or not will depend how powerful you are doing. बोलते ना, COVID-19 आएगा, it will come and attack. आप अपनी immunity बढ़ाते रहो. So when it comes and it is less. PhD is the philosophy, doctorate of philosophy, correct? I mean, I don't know, it's the same question asked out. When you're going for maybe deep research on a topic, and that topic makes you to get like a doctor kind of a degree, correct? That's where you get this thing. This is future of India. I would say that all the IT companies of India, they are doing great work because that industry is actually bringing a lot of foreign exchange to country in 50 billion. And not only that, this is the industry which revolutionized the COVID-19 situation, correct? Work from home, and then the banks, offices, and other sectors also came online and all those things. So when I say IT industry, it's not only the pure software industry, but the support ancillary industry of the infrastructure, hardware, and other stuff. Those are also very important. So definitely digital is the future of India. Yes, digital workers, knowledge worker is the future of India. Digital optional subject. The way English is not a more optional subject. Why? Because for a communication, to become a global communicator, to reach, have a global reach, you know, so you need English kind of a communication language. You need some basic maths to do some kind of accounting. Similarly, to be in today's world, to use the phone also, you need some kind of a digital knowledge also. So roti, kapda, makan ke saath mein mobile phone, you know, or maybe the digital technology is becoming such kind of an accepted phenomenon. So post COVID-19, student won't be getting much placement, right? Difficult question to answer, because I really cannot envisage and predict that. But I have a different way of looking at it. See, we are in a situation where, when I say we, in the sense country, society, industry as a whole, where we have taken the challenge on our stride and we are doing our better to remain relevant and support the businesses. When there is a growth, there is a lot of new hiring and new placement and all those stuff. I think the companies are probably going to honor their commitment, so they would happen. There is some transient impact, and that impact may be for 2020, maybe early phase of 21 and so on. But what is most important to remember, don't look at COVID-19 or the pre and post. Look at this thing. In a campus, in academic institute itself, suppose there are 100 students, 300 students, and 500 students. This competition was always there, correct? Only thing is the level of competition has increased. This competition and capability enablement and development has to happen at individual level. College, teachers, parents can bring you to one level. After that, fight is your own. So in the panel discussion which we were having a couple of weeks back about the future of engineering education, similar question came. And we all the panelists agreed on one point, that situation like COVID-19 happened earlier also. In fact, it happened in my lifetime thrice. This is the fourth time. And there were short-term impact. The definition of short-term is 3 months to almost 1.5 to 2 years. In fact, when I joined TCS, just before some similar situation had happened, and I did not get my first campus offering from the campus because of that situation. But I was a student at that time, but I didn't give up. I started preparing myself with whatever available opportunity. And they did help me when I got the opportunity within 6 months when the market changed. So based on my experience, I realized that improvement, immunity boosting, reskilling, developing your capability, and whatever theory you learned, make it practical. A lot of online projects are there. Form the team and start something. That is very, very important. Curtains are raised. You should be in the forefront to get into. If you have not fought through and come to the front, you can't blame others. TCS does award grants to a very restricted entity, very restricted universities, and mainly the universities. We have a wing which is related with Coin, which works on partnering with universities and work. But most of the maybe IITs, A-grade IITs, which get into this kind of series, and then maybe some of the other universities across the world. So it does, but there are a lot of conditions which are there to get this. Indian IT industry beating US IT industry? No, there is no beating of one IT industry in another. Remember, Indian IT industry's majority of the businesses come from North America and European countries. So they are not a competition. They are like a collaboration. It's a complementing each other. So we can't survive without each other. So, and that's how the global world is exist. Correct. So no competition on that side. Of course, there is a competition from other countries, like maybe some of the Southeast Asian countries, which are maybe lower in cost compared to our maybe salaries or the cost structure. Some of the Latin American countries, and maybe some of the European countries. So of course, competition is be there, and that's why long back, I'm forgetting the name of the author who wrote the book of Earth is Flat, and he wrote a very interesting anecdote that when the family sit at the dinner table, they pray in the US, and when they are praying, the parents are telling the teacher, "Oh Lord, give our kids to learn and be ready to compete it with the Indian engineers, so that next bread come from our would say our own home. Otherwise, the bread may be snatched by the Indian engineer." So not exact words, but the point is that competition is always there. You have to prepare yourself, your own immunity booster, realigning, reskilling, and reimagining, very, very important. Remember, it's a lifelong process. It's not one-time vaccination liya and ho gaya. It's a continuous learning. And unless you prepare yourself, you become kind of in competition to be ready to be defeated with somebody else. Within country, outside country, or across the globe. No, India is not lagging in app development. It's a funny aspect. Since I work for the digital for masses, I always say that when Prime Minister Modi talked about digital India, all the government department thought digital India equal to creating mobile apps. And then department started creating a mobile app. And there's so many apps, it becomes so confusing. And that's where to get one service, you have to go 2-3 apps. It becomes so confusing. And that's why then government came out with the idea of Umang app. So I'm working in the agriculture phase, and then agriculture research wing itself has got 114 apps. So there is a maybe unification. So India does not have maybe the less number of apps. Yes, having relevant app and which can solve the problem without hopping to many apps and all those things is the problem. That's where user experience is a lot important in today's world. So why maybe iPhone is so powerful? Because maybe of the user experience. People are still paying a lot because maybe find it so useful. So not the apps, but the user experience. Tough question for me. Challenges small and medium-sized enterprises are facing due to COVID-19. There are a lot of impact. A couple of my friends who are like entrepreneurs running small and medium enterprises. But one thing which I learned from them, they started with whatever government regulations were available. Labor is still a problem, but they have started and they are trying to remain relevant. They are trying their best to help maybe their workers, laborers, and maybe other stakeholders. Going is tough, but important thing is that they are continuing it. And I do not have a real solution for them because technology does solve the problem, but it has to get to a level of where it's not forced upon somebody to use it. You know, it has to make sense at the cost level. So for example, people talk about IoT and sensor. And last time when I was having the webinar, I told that one soil sensor, good quality soil sensor, costs somewhere around 10,000 to 12,000 rupees. And the soil sensor is very important for agriculture decision making. But the question is, can a farmer afford? No. So that's why the research has to bring it to the afforder level of same quality, less than 1,000 rupees. That's where the research is working. So same is true for maybe the small and medium scale industries. How the production can be maybe more industrialized, maybe to do with less human and maybe more machines. But it's not about creating the machine. That machine has to work in odd hours. Machine has to have less downtime. Maintainability of the machine should not be costly again, and so on. So that's a challenge. So we're almost towards the end of the session. Are there any other questions which you think is there which I have not answered?
I think there are no pending queries, sir.
Okay.
I'm just checking the availability of sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, you are concluding now, huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh yes. So Dinesh Kumar ji, it was again a very inspiring presentation as always, and very special thanks to you, particularly that we need industry people to come back to the academia, interact with academic teachers, and share with them where academia is going, how and in which way we teachers, we institutions, we universities, we colleges will have to undertake initiatives, undertake efforts to catch up the development happening in the academy industry. And that point of view, this interaction was very, very important. As always, you have been volunteering yourself. So thank you so much. We'll meet again. And your we cannot do anything except presenting you an online certification, please. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving. Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable time. And please accept this certificate of appreciation on the behalf of Bharati Vidyapeeth and on the behalf of all the participants. Please accept it. It was a very wonderful session, sir. You have covered a number of things. You have covered a number of things with respect to the digital age.
Vishal.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I request to all the participants, please join back by 1:45 so that we can start the session at 2 o'clock. Thank you. Those who have not attempted any test, they can give the test at today, 8 o'clock. We will share the details at WhatsApp group. Dr. Valan, sir. Thank you.